Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Neo Vision Rain. So let's start from his stats. So like you can see that his base stats is about the same like Cloud, okay, but it's perfectly understandable because both of them are true double hand attackers. And for standard and Brave Shift form, I can say they are about the same, okay, with minor difference. Like you can see here that the normal form has 70% health while the Brave Shift form only has 50%. So the normal form has little bit better defensive, but I don't think that will matter on real battle. And yes, the passive are about the same, okay, gets fatal damage protection, nice. The difference is on the normal form he has 100% faster ability rate, but on the Brave Shift form he gets 50% LB damage, okay. And also the normal form has Beast Killer while the Brave Shift form has Human Killer, so it's obvious which one you should use when you fight beast or human, okay. But the thing here is you should notice that Brave Shift form has plus 100% LB damage, so it's obvious when you want to deal huge damage using your limit burst, you should use your Brave Shift form, okay. Unless you fight, let's say, beast, then you may use your normal limit burst, but I will talk about that later on ability section. And the normal version has 100% fire resist, so again it's kind of like Tifa, where I can say that the normal form is meant to be defensive, not to be offensive, okay. So enough about stats, now let's talk about his normal abilities. So on normal form, he is more suited to become support, and yes, you can also use him as a DPS if you fight against beasts. And as a DPS, he is a Stardust Ray chainer, and yes, almost all Neo Vision is Stardust Ray chainer, okay. And yes, I say support because like you can see it on the screen, he has many amazing supportive abilities. The first one is he able to imbue fire element to himself and to one ally. So yes, until now most characters only imbue themselves, okay, so it will be hard to set up your partner, but for this raid you can easily set up your partner. Very nice. He also has support dispel every 4 turns, and yes, all those things are also Stardust Ray chain, so you don't need to stop chaining when doing support. Very nice. And for buffs, he able to give your party 230% attack. This may be useless though, okay, because most offensive character are able to buff themselves by 250%, but the fire resist and 40% damage mitigation gonna be useful, especially on the early part of battle. And maybe the best buff he has is the fire physical and magic damage boost. This is something new for this Neo Vision meta, and yes, 15% is quite a lot because we talking about like 300 times damage modifier. So yes, very nice, okay. And remember, he also able to give your party 100% LB damage and Beast Killer plus for 3 turns. It is 5 turns cooldown, so this is very good, especially if you use Cloud, because yes, Cloud only has 2 100% LB damage. After that, he is out, unless of course he gets buff like this. Very nice when you pair him with Cloud. And his grandest ability is, yeah, I must say quite nice, 280% attack. So most characters only have like 250% buff, so it will be useful, okay. And you have 2 usage of this Grandis ability, and it lasts for 5 turns, so yes, I must say quite decent support. For his limit burst, I must say, don't get me wrong, okay, this is less powerful than the Brave Shift form. First, the side effect, it will imbue fire element to all allies, but you have known that he able to give one ally fire element. So unless you are on situation where you bring 5 chainers, I know that's possible, let's say like Neo Vision, but I think that takes too long, okay. Yeah, let's say you bring 5 chainers, then this LB gonna be useful, but on normal situation, I think that his normal ability fire imbue gonna be sufficient, okay. And another reason I say this is less powerful, because remember, on normal form he doesn't have 100% LP damage, I mean passive, okay. So of course it will deal less damage compared to the Brave Shift limit burst. And maybe the worst weakness is it doesn't have chaining family, okay. So you need a duplicate, but maybe, okay, maybe you can chain this with Extreme Nova again, because it seems that the frame delay is about the same. I'm not sure, I cannot test it, okay. Now enough about normal form, let's talk about the Brave Shift form. So on Brave Shift form, he is LB damage dealer and also human killer. So this form gives him the best DPS abilities. Also, this is the only form that he has access to 120% fire in peril. So like it or not, you still need this form, okay? Because yes, on normal form he doesn't have fire in peril. So yeah, put it short, it is like Cloud, you need to switch back between imbue and imperil. Kinda annoying if you ask me, okay. And for buff, he only buff himself with 100% LB damage, but the good thing is it fills your limit burst gauge to full. So very nice, 40 LB full, you can use your limit burst on the next turn. So really nice setup. For Grandis ability, 106 times Stardust Ray Chain. This one is nice, but 106 times only usable once without side effect. I find that kinda underwhelming, okay. I think this is used to finish the enemy when they able to survive from your limit burst. I believe they are on critical condition after you use your LB, okay. So finish it using Grandis ability. Now for rotation, so yes, on start of battle, don't switch to Brave Shift. Still, you are on normal form, use your Blaze Saber, Helios Saber or Rising Saber. Basically, yeah, imbue yourself with fire element, and then yeah, do some setup like buff yourself if the enemy is beast enemy, and yes, up your fire damage. Basically, first turn is your setup, okay. Unless you can skip this though if you have someone who able to imbue yourself with fire element. And for the second turn, this is the time you should transform into a Brave Shift. Use ultimate Flame Blade to get 120% in peril. And yes, after that, simply use that Rising Fury to fill your limit burst to full, because I think you haven't reached full limit burst without this Rising Fury, okay, because 40 LB crystals is quite a lot, and on the first turn you use like setup support, so maybe you don't have full limit burst. But if you do have full limit burst, then you don't need to use Rising Fury, okay, assuming you already get 100% LB damage from your normal form. And on the third turn, finally, you can use your limit burst. It is the most powerful AoE LB at this point. Yes, Tifa may have higher damage modifier, 720 times, pretty insane, and this one only 270 times. So yes, very low compared to Tifa, but remember, Tifa and Cloud limit burst only affect single target, but this affect all enemies. Okay, so if you need AoE attack, this is your answer. I like this because at least they give him different purpose compared to Tifa and Cloud. I know Cloud also have AoE limit burst using his bike form, but I find that's not that powerful and not cool, I must say. First, because you cannot chain it with other characters than himself. But this is Extreme Nova. So if you have, let's say, Mastermind Son, Elena, and maybe future Tick Lena, then yes, for Tick Lena, that's simply my prediction. Then you have good chaining partner. Okay, so enough about the abilities. Now let's talk about equipment. For equipment, I must say he is about the same like Tifa. I have said this on the beginning. His standard form is meant to be like support, setup, basically defensive form. So I don't say you cannot attack on his normal form, okay? You can do that, but it's better to focus on his survivability. Okay? And yes, you also get benefit from faster LB rate, because if you have faster LB rate and able to fill your LB gauge to full and have LB damage plus 100% from his standard form, you don't need to use your Rising Fury immediately on Brave Shift form. Okay, you can use Brave Shift, use your limit burst, and when your LB gauge depleted, finally use Rising Fury. So that will allow you to use nice LB damage very fast. On his Brave Shift form, focus on building his LB damage and offensive stats. That's what I can recommend you, okay? But I think from now on, every character will be like this. Their LB gonna be their main damage source. Yes, I find that's interesting because limit burst should be really powerful, unlike on the past. Okay? So yes, I think that's all you need to know, okay guys, about this equipment. Now let's talk about partner. For partner, sadly, there is no equivalent partner for him. Okay? Yes, you can use Elena, Mastermind Son, I know, but the problem is they are not Neo-Vision. Sure, you can say whatever you want. You can say Elena is still very powerful. I know it, but face the fact, okay? We are on Neo-Vision era. Yes, Elena is powerful, but compared to Neo-Vision, her damage dwarf a lot. So let's hope, like I say, take Elena, also Extreme Nova Chainer. For now, just rely on your friend for Extreme Nova chaining. But the good thing about duplicate is you can also chain the normal form limit burst, the 25 hits. Very nice. And for Cloud, if you can use Cloud as a finisher, then I can say he is good partner for Neo-Vision Reign 2. And remember, Cloud also able to chain with Stardust Ray. Okay, so yes. And Rain can imbue him with fire element, so yes, can work if you don't want to rely on LB. Both of these characters can act as a chainer. Nice. And if you need other elements like usual, I believe you are tired seeing these two characters, because yes, basically they are very good. That's why you see them every time on my review video. And for party sample here, I know this party sample is quite ridiculous, because yes, the breaker only 70% breakers. Mastermind Son and Sylvie can complement each other, okay? So Sylvie can break 70%, but you have one turn without break. I mean, yeah, one off turn. That's when you should use Mastermind Son break to fill the void when waiting Sylvie cooldown. Okay, but yes, I know this is ridiculous, but so if you think that you cannot survive with 70% break, simply ditch Cloud and yes, bring to Neo Vision Rain or Mastermind Son for Extreme Nova or Elena. Okay, so enough about partner and party sample. Let's talk about ability priority. So the first ability you need to level up is Ash Blade, because it is his most powerful Stardust Ray chaining move. It deals 76 times damage, so with his triple cast, he deals about 228 times damage. Quite nice, especially if you cannot use your limit burst because lacking partner. Okay, this is the answer for that situation. And the second ability, Rising Saber, it is very good because it increased 15% fire damage, so it will up all of his damage, his limit burst, his Ash Blade, etc. And remember, he able to imbue one ally with fire element, so that character also get benefit from this Rising Saber. Very nice. And the last is Astral Age. I must say that the healing and MP regen are probably not useful. Okay, so I don't think this need to be leveled up, but I understand too, this is the most powerful Stardust Ray chain move on this game. AoE, because yes, for Cloud it is not real AoE Stardust Ray because only the last hit affect all enemies, but this time from the first to last hit it attacks all enemies. So maybe if you need to attack all enemies, you can use this move, but again, maybe you want to use your limit burst instead. But yes, I will leave that to you, okay, whether you want to level up this or not. But trust me, Ash Blade and Rising Saber are the most important. That's my opinion. So enough about priorities. Now my conclusion for Neo Vision Rain. I can say that he is the first real Neo Vision AoE damage dealer, because I have mentioned Tifa, Cloud are meant for single target. Okay, and that's a good thing. Maybe we will get multiple enemies trial on the future, who knows. And his 100% LB damage buff can help another character with Clouded Syndrome. What is Clouded Syndrome? It is like Cloud Neo Vision, where 100% LB damage buff is limited. For character like Tifa, you don't need this, of course, because Tifa able to spam that 150% LB damage. But for character like Cloud, this plus 100% LB damage is great buff for them. Okay, really nice. And he also can become nice support on the early part of the game. 40% damage mitigation, nice. Okay, and the only things I don't like about him are the Trust Master Reward and STMR. For the Trust Master Reward, I have said this, it's kinda odd number, 75%. What Yeah, for example, Neo Vision Rain himself has that 200% true double hand. So having this, do you think that extra 25% will be helpful? I don't think so. Okay, you still need maybe one or two another trust master reward to improve this. Don't get me wrong, it is not bad. Okay, simply the number is kind of odd. I hope they give it like 100%, but that's probably too OP. But maybe just make this into 50% true double hand and 40% LB damage. Why they cannot make it something like that? Okay, this is kind of strange number, but the effect is nice for him. Okay, this is simply my personal opinion, so don't take it to your heart. And for the STMR, this is kind of strange again. Power of the Sun will increase your fire damage, but the sword itself is non-elemental. So I find this kinda annoying, guys, because I think this sword should be fire element. This can save your rain from imbuing, okay? So you can immediately go to Brave Ship form and wreck with your Rising Fury, and then next turn with your Limit Burst. But yeah, if your partner, I mean, if the user who equipped this sword not able to imbue themselves with fire element, then that means this is useless. Okay, the side effect. That's why I think this should have innate fire element. That's my complaint. I know I hate fire element. I hate elemental weapon, but for this piece of equipment, I think this one should have fire innate fire element. But this one is not, so whatever. I don't like this too. Trust Master Reward and STMR. Okay, so yep, I think that's all you need to know about Neo Vision Rain. Hopefully I don't write wrong fact on this screen, unlike my previous Neo Vision Cloud. I'm really sorry about it, okay, saying that both of the form has true dual wield. Really sorry, guys. So yep, I think that's all you need to know. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guide. Bye bye, guys.